Yeah. Okay. Hey, Deanna, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining. Hi, Alex. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for joining. We'll wait another second here because Lord knows if I start, it'll be over before anybody else can get here. Pop chop. Monday, got fish to fry. Okay. Why are you always, she's always laughing at me.
So I'll try to hold it in.
She's always laughing at me. Okay, everybody. Okay, first, a disclaimer. Last week, one of the numbers was off like here, like it wasn't matching up with down here. Just visually, these numbers are still tracking properly from up above, but I was a dork and I put October numbers here last week. I copy and paste those down so that we can see them all on the same screen. They're not a factor in terms of like these numbers. I just copied and pasted down the wrong ones. Okay, moving on. I double checked myself today. So we're now looking at September numbers down here, which is fine. I just use those for reference. Anywho. All right, everybody. It is Monday, September 23rd. I hope you all had an enjoyable equinox last night. We've got 2,263. It would help if I had my glasses on. 2,263 active listings in the MLS currently in Allegheny County single family residential. We are 17% up from last year. And the interesting thing here is, so this number, right, is based on 2023. I'm comping against just last year. But what we've got here showing is 2112 in 2022, 2,112 is lower than what we have here. That means we know for sure we're comping positively against 2022 also. So I keep saying this and I just have not made the time, and I'm about to go camping, so I'm not going to make the time then either. But I need to add like a comp number here for 2023 and a comp here for 2024 so we can see like a progression. That would be top tier of me to create that, and maybe I will do that. But we're 17% over last year. Total listings in the last 7 days. Again, this is all Allegheny County single family residential. So not the whole MLS, just Allegheny County. 296, which is 19% up from 2023 and up from 2022. Pendings. So I track the under contract and the contingent, right? Those are two different things. We want to make sure, because under contract could mean that somebody just went under contract without any contingencies, right? So that's still a pending. So I track both of those. We've got 295, which is 6% over last year. So this number, but it is just a smidge below the pendings from 2022. So interesting, right? We talked about seeing these numbers reflective in listings be in the black and these numbers here being in the red, right? What does that mean? More listings are hitting the market, less people are going under contract and selling. I've been saying buyer's market, but what we're going to is a more balanced market. Right? We're going to see more, I'm going to use the word fairness, not like it's not fair that sellers get to walk away with tons of money, but I'm seeing more fairness in terms of buyers coming in, not 10, 15K over or more. Anyway, I digress. Total sold in the last 7 days, 173, which is only 2 units over last year, right? That's only 1% up from last year. And look, it's still in the red from 2022. All right. Total average days on market. We've been hovering in the mid 36s. I think, and there's another agent I could call to ask what his take is on this, because he's a weird numbers person like me and tracks all the time too. I think a balanced market, usually this is in the mid 40s. Mid to upper 40s, average days on market. That's when you'll start seeing things like seller assist, home warranties, right? That feels like a balanced market. Sellers aren't being inundated with multiple offers the first weekend. Okay. But we're right in track here. We're looking pretty average there. And I think it's just because we've had this sense of urgency in the market. People are still just like, oh, gotta buy. Very interesting number here. As you know, sometimes, or maybe you don't know, when I pull up this data for these numbers right here for the average sale price, I like to go back into the data and pull up all of the listings and then filter by highest price. And I always find it interesting. There was an agent in there that was in the top $1 million, like in the $1 million solds. She sold two in 1 week last week. One was like 1.8 and the other one was like 2 point something. Go you, whoever you are. I think her name was Angela. But yeah, good for her. Total number of reductions. Wow, like still huge. These are really great numbers to talk to your sellers about. Oh my gosh, are they good numbers? Look at 2022 price reductions, 331 with almost, similar numbers, but fewer on the market than here. And look at that. We've been going up in price reductions just because some sellers are out of their ever-loving minds. They think they can take all that in a bag of chips, but we're not. People aren't buying it. Buyers are smarter than that. Buyers are shopping for at least a year before they pull the trigger on something, usually. Right? And again, we're still comping positive up here, 60, 70 plus more than last year, but almost double 2022. This number is going down. Sales price to list price ratio. Not surprising, given that we've got this number here, number of price reductions. That's a factor here, right? So you list a price at 200,000, but you sell at 180. That's what this means. That's the ratio of those two numbers together. That means you sold roughly at like 98, 99%. So in Allegheny County, 97.97. But again, if you want to look at that number and you're trying to price a listing, you have to get hyper focused on that municipality, right? That municipality. And I would even go so far as to say that school district, because the last time I went to an appraisal conference or whatever, they were saying that oftentimes they don't just look at, like O'Hara, for example, is in Fox Chapel School District. They're going to pull listings out of Fox Chapel to help with your listing in O'Hara, even though they're two different municipalities, because they're all Fox Chapel School District. That's a school district is a huge part of the value or perceived value on a property. Y'all get me there? So a little more than 2% below list price is what they're selling for. And of course, we don't know if this number has to do with appraisals being lower, and then you have to lower the price, or inspections being the cause of lowering the price, or days on market being the cost, right? I don't think it's days on market, because look at that, 36. That's not bad. Total number of expireds, again, almost double what was expired in 2022 of this last week, and about 30 more than what was expired this same week last year. We have a few less folks in the MLS. Godspeed, and hope you're on your way doing well. Those could be appraisers or inspectors or whomever, but we've got 9 fewer people in the MLS. And 6%. If you were at the meeting last week, I was saying, I interrupted Todd, unfortunately, and I regret that, but my lender gave me a 5.75 last Monday in anticipation of the Fed reducing by 0.5%. And there we are. And it was mentioned, or like it went through on Thursday, but my lender like actually felt so confident. They quoted me and we locked in at 5.75. So we're in the 5s, y'all. And I will tell you this, I can't remember if it was in Anaheim at family reunion when I was there, or if it was Las Vegas. I think it was Anaheim. Gary Keller said that he did not think we would see interest rates in the 5s ever again. That being that low in the 5s was just a product of COVID and That's just like not normal. Like the 7s and 8s, well, actually in the 9s are more average. When you look at the length of time that they've been tracking interest rates, the 8s, the mid 8s were average, but here we are. Jennifer locked in at 5.75. So you can get it. And, you know, depending upon your lender, I'm sure, and your credit score and the down payment and whatever you're doing, but you can get it in the 5s. Do you guys have any questions about these numbers this week? Oh my gosh, I made it past 8 minutes. Yes.
I had one of my clients contact me, a past client contact me last week when they dropped rates, and he was asking, did he think it was a smart idea to refinance?
What's he at? If he's in the 7s, I would say, what does it hurt to call your lender and find out what you can qualify from a refi? They charge you
7.2.
a few grand to do it. It's not cheap. It's rolled into the loan usually. But one thing that happened to me, this is such a good point. In this townhouse that I'm in now, when we purchased it, it was pre-COVID. And we were in like the 7.8 range. It's what it was. COVID hit and interest rates went down. Oh, and I will say this, we put 10% down on this townhouse. COVID hit, we refinanced. The comps on my townhouse were through the roof because I'm in Squirrel Hill. Even though I'm a townhouse, I'm comping against all these other Yahoo 4-bedrooms that are normal single family homes. When they refinanced me, it pumped so high, it knocked the PMI off my loan. I only had put 10% down, and immediately, not only did my interest rate go down, but my PMI came off. That was over $200 a month. So if your client, and again, even if they did put 20% down, but if they are still paying PMI and the comps look good, I would pull comps for your client and see what that looks like. Tell him to call Todd and talk about a refi and see how much it might save them. I mean, if they're in the mid 7s and they qualify for 5.75, that's a lot of money over the course of a 30-year mortgage. Like, I don't know if I'd pay for it. It was just like half a point, but if he's in the upper 7s, which, let's go back. Do you remember when he bought it?
We closed in December.
Just last December? If he was somewhere right here.
Yeah, he was at 7.2.
Okay. If he can qualify for a 5.75, have Todd quote it. It costs you nothing. Have them run the numbers. What do I do with everything? That's a really good re-ask. Showing value, providing value after the fact, keeping track. I would go back and look at all of your deals that have closed. Like, why not? Go back to the pre-qual or whatever. Whenever I hear stuff like this, I think to myself, oh man, I need to be saving things. Like, I save all my DAs, you know, from getting paid. I save all my HUDs in one place in a Google folder of all my closing docs, or just the closing HUD. Is like, wow. Going back, I mean, how many deals can it possibly be in the last 3 years? So maybe you look at X number of deals and check all those. What a great, I'm bringing value. I'm calling you to let you know, I remember that you closed at 7.75, and how's your credit looking? If you've been making payments on time, you might qualify for that. And I can see here too, that you only put 10% down. The comps here look like you might be able to get that PMI knocked off. Huge value. You think that client's ever going to forget you if you, you know, prompt that conversation? I'm always about like the hostess gift, right? You show up with something in your hand, they're gonna remember you. Any other questions? Love it. Thanks, everybody. Hope y'all have a wonderful week. Yes, ma'am.
Thanks, Jen.
Oh, you're welcome. My pleasure. Bye, y'all.
Bye.